So our next speaker is Roman Serov. I will speak
Our next speaker is Roman
to
Serov.
Russian to ask him a question. Roman, добрый день.
Roman, good afternoon. You represent a responsible investor, RSHB Asset Management, the first Russian ETF fund that follows ESG principles. Please share this experience with us. How do you follow ESG principles? What kind of tools do you use?
Спасибо большое, Светлана. Если можно, я на английском продолжу. Не страшно? Thank you very much, Svetlana, and good day to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, and bonjour to Karine. A little bit of French, as she requested. I think the reason I'm here is, and thank you very much for that, is the fact that we are as RSHB Asset Management. Just for those who are not familiar with this abbreviation, RSHB is RSHB Rossельхозbank, Russian Agricultural Bank, which is a state-owned top 4 Russian banks. And we are the investment and the asset management arm of this banking Russian giant, specialized in agriculture, but not only, as it is a universal banking group. The reason we are here is that we just happened to be the first, probably in Russia, to pilot and to launch the ESG-based exchange traded fund at the Moscow Exchange. That happened some 5 months ago in late June. That basically followed the long-lasting negotiations and the procedure with the Russian Union of Industrialists and Entrepreneurs, RSPP. We have started this relationship some years ago, and happy to finalize this cooperation in launching the first ETF. Hopefully not the last one, as we are preparing the next one for fixed income assets. To just in a nutshell, what is this ESG-based exchange traded fund is about? It is based on the index of the Russian Union of Industrialists and Entrepreneurs for Sustainable Development. Guys, they have expertise, very precise expertise in ESG. They use international accounting ESG principles for analysis, for non-financial reporting of Russian large corporates from top 500, top 600 RBC and RAEX-Europe ratings. Then they make a bit of a fine tuning. They look at the dynamics year over year for the past historical performance of these companies, and they make a cherry picking for top 20. That's how they derive the index. The Moscow Exchange itself has accepted this index and remains as a calculation agent. The exchange traded fund is comprised in the following sectors: metals and mining 40%, oil and gas 21%, electricity 18%, telecom 9%, banks and finance 8%, and chemistry 4%. So that's the composition of the index. On one side, one, as Karine mentioned, that and Ben mentioned, there are a number of threats in Russia, and I think that the ESG story is not well developed so far in Russia, and those companies might not be necessarily the best ESG and ESG compliant companies, but the way that we look at it, and we also want, as Karine said, to be part of this story, part of this ESG aeration of Russia. And we do want to make things happen, obviously. I don't know what happened, but the screen is different on my computer. We think that the more companies invest in the corporate governance, now ecological and social governance, the more resilient they are, the more they are adjusted to the situations of market stress or ecological situations as they happened already. And I think that the more funds are allocated, the more IT investments and risk management systems are put in place to be compliant with AEG, the better performance for such members of the index, for such corporates is, and the better it is for private individuals that invest in our ETF and potentially for financial institutions. So we just think that this is the way that we should address the topic. Also, I have to mention that thank you very much to our RAEX expert Germany rating. We have obtained, I think, first in Russia, BBB rating. The reason we have applied for international rating as we want to actually expand from purely, I would say, retail ETF at the Moscow Exchange, designated for private individuals with minimum investment size of 1,000 rubles, somewhat north of 10 euros minimum ticket. We want to expand to institutional investors and particularly international investors to improve liquidity and to improve the ESG topic in Russia. So far, none of the institutional investors, none of the institutional investors in Russia, such as pension funds and insurance companies, are involved in ESG topic, are not, as of today, the investors for the ESG ETF fund that we have developed. And we do hope that regulators and Ministry of Finance and the Central Bank of Russia will make it not necessarily tough, but a bit of a emphasis, I would say, emphasis on this responsible investment and the ESG compliant principles for the companies that want to raise capital in Russia, onshore and offshore. We know that many Russian top corporates and blue chips, they inevitably comply with the ESG principles because that's the way foreign investors treat them, as is Capital and Nordic particularly, but also European investors. So that's inevitable, but we think that that's not the only reason ESG should be developed in Russia. I think that private individuals can play their role and invest in the future. We think that retail market for ESG ETF is also part of the global story, where VAB as a green banking and green financing, and Sberbank also announced its ESG strategy to basically extend loans to ESG compliant corporates. We, as an asset manager, are mostly dedicated to the retail sector, as being a part of the large retail institution present in every Russian region. We want this instrument available for any Russian individuals that can simply click on the mobile app and buy 1,000 rubles of something that would in 20 years, make the life different. That's a bit of a politics. As far as economics is concerned, likewise in the international markets, ESG compliant companies are traded at a certain premium to the broader market. And as a result, we can see, let me see, the ETF that we launched in late June has performed, and the RSHB index has performed plus 22.6%, where the broader MOEX Moscow Exchange market is 19.8. So it's about 300 basis points premium to the broader market, which is roughly 600 basis points, 6% annualized. That's a premium for the ESG market, and 3 to 5% is the market practice for the international peers. So basically, as an investment product, it makes sense not only socially but also economically to invest and drive the ESG in the positive area, make the corporate issues be more positive looking into the ESG compliant area. Basically,
Thank you very
that's about
much.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Roman. I hope that probably in the next quarter, in the first quarter 2021, we can have a separate webinar on discussing the ETF in greater detail within our usual RAEX sustainability webinar session, which we hold every Wednesday. So we invite everyone to join this session as well. The details on this first ETF ESG rating are available on our Telegram channel, on our website, and I assume on the RSHB website as well. So we also invite listeners to read it in more detail. So